Hey guys, good morning. Checking in from 9 a.m. California time. You guys are heading into your, let's see, what hour is this? We got 7 hours left. So heading into the home stretch, you guys. We've got Alessandra Sorrentino here with us right now to talk about animation production with you guys. Get you ready for the last push. Um, she is a 2D animator and story artist from Turin, Italy. Currently calling in from New York. Hello to the East Coasters. Um, so she's been working in the animation industry for 15 years, starting her career in Ireland at Cartoon Saloon, where she was responsible for both animation and story on the feature film Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, Breadwinner, and the upcoming Wolf Walkers, which she will be telling us a little bit about, which sounds really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. She has spent several years in London freelancing for clients such as Netflix, Aardman, Cartoon Network, Disney Television, BBC, Studio AKA, or AKA,
AKA, yeah.
AKA, okay, The Line and Passion Pictures. She's currently senior artist at story artist at Blue Sky Studios, and she teaches animation, the animation workshop in Denmark. Ooh, fun. And occasionally works as a freelance photographer and fashion designer. Multi-talented lady here.
Thank you.
You want to say to the students right now, while they are uh, almost to the finish line, getting ready to wrap it up?
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Yeah, I feel like it's an incredible accomplishment already to be able to produce a movie in 24 hours. Like imagine if you made a film every week or every month, or like it would be so prolific. And I admit I don't have that tenacity anymore. So yeah, respect for each of you and what you've been doing. You're really inspiring, and I'm really looking forward to watch the film. Very great.
Awesome. Yeah, so she's guest judging for us this year. We are very happy to have her. And we were talking a little bit before we started about your project Wolf Walkers, that you were a storyboard artist, and what else on that?
Yeah, no, mostly animation. I did mostly 2D animation, and I was freelancing from London. With them, I've been working with them many years. That was my first job was with them when I worked on City Lucas. It was like 15 years ago. um, so yeah, we've been keeping a good relationship, and we've been working together even remotely. Uh, and yeah, Work Focus was my last work in animation actually, because now I'm doing mostly storyboarding. I need both of them. I like both of them, but yeah, it goes in waves.
I understand that. I think it's good to have more than one thing. And it sounds like you've got some very compatible experience with what everyone's going through right now in terms of like collaborating remotely and making connections that you end up staying in touch with. So all of you guys are making great friends in the animation world right now through this competition. Proud of you all for your work. Um, let's see. So, what's your advice for them at this stage in the competition, in their production? How do you finish strong?
I imagine that you guys must be tired. Uh, and yeah, the motivation might be like, am I gonna make it? Like, is it worth it what I've done? And maybe self-doubt and all of those kind of feelings that are very normal. You guys are human, so that's all good. My technical advice could be, if you find yourself in a place where you feel like the time is not enough, um, just focus on the story. Like, focus on the message you want to give to your audience, because like it could be a film, even just if it was a sequence of still images with no color. Even if it was an animatic, you can still make people cry, make people laugh, and you could really deliver the message you want. So I know that the temptation of polishing and refining your drawings is big, but it's the most important thing is that you wrap it up, you finish it, and you deliver what you want to bring to the world. So yeah, focus on the story for sure.
That is awesome advice, and it echoes what we've been hearing from all of the pros since everyone's been checking in. It's like, what can you simplify? What's the essential, like your key moments, your main themes, like just carve out the heart of it and just focus on completing your vision. That's awesome advice. You guys got this. Um, Hopefully we all have been taking stretch breaks. I see a lot of people taking naps. Let's see, what else can we give them at this stage? What would your like? I guess it depends because everyone's on different stages and different types of production. Have you you sorry. I how do you wrap up a scene if you're still animating? Like if you're like partway through and looking for like how do you decide what needs to stay in, make your decisions?
I will try to what I do usually, and I do it both when I'm animating or when I'm storyboarding, is to pitch it to someone else who has fresh eyes, for sure. And if something is not clear, focus on that. And if I mean, it's more of a question of being economical. Like if you see that you have still a lot to animate, try to imagine if you can take off some shots from your animatic already, because yeah, that's a big time saver. Many times you just get really attached to a scene just because it looks pretty, but it doesn't add any information to the story. So you need to focus on clarity and simplify absolutely. So yeah, if you're struggling and you don't have time to animate everything, see if you can take off some shots and it's still readable and clear.
That's awesome advice. Like we mentioned before, killing your babies sometimes it's hard to let go, but sometimes you just got to do it so you can really prioritize where you need to. So kind of on a related note, is it better, do you think, to have one scene that works really well, even if it means the others are not as strong, or should you go for more consistent, like level of finish and like production value?
No, definitely. I would totally watch a film that is like partly animated, partly just storyboard. Or I remember I saw a lot of Japanese animation in my till my 20s, I would say, and many times they are really experimental because they sometimes they do run out of budget. And you can see some of the series, like what I watched one few days ago actually. I rewatched. It's called Karekano. It's called His and Her Circumstances, and it's made by Studio Gainax. And same studio made Evangelion, and it gets crazy in the end because apparently the director Hideaki Anno, he's famous for making like Titanic choices and being really high quality level at the beginning, and then it runs out of budget. And that happened on Evangelion. It happened on, I don't know if you saw it, Secret of Blue Water. That was the same director, same studio, and he did that on Karakano as well. And the end is basically like still images, drawings that move like just paper, like cutout paper, and then there's dialogue on top of it, and it's fine. I mean, it works. It delivers the message whatever you want it to be, and the audience just takes it. Nobody's feeling like, oh, this is not animated, or this is animated in 4s or in 6, whatever. So yeah, that's again like the story is the main point. Absolutely.
Totally, yeah. And I think maybe now would be a great time if you guys have a few places, get experimental, like try it out. I love experimental animation. Like we don't give you any limitations on style or anything like that. So if you're needing creative ways to tell your story, try it out. You can always scrap it and start again on another option. I mean, I know time is of the essence. You don't want to waste time, but you can pull some really creative stuff out when you release your expectations, I guess. Alessandra, what about music and sound? How important would you say that is in the film? Should they maybe?
It's I would say it's really important because or many times, especially like animated shorts, when you go to festivals, you see so many shorts that are like have no dialogue at all. They're completely mute, and the music is one of the main characters. So it really drives the emotion, and yeah, I would say it's really important.
And it can maybe carry some of your rougher patches if you're just, still using that as a communication device. The film is all of those different things working together.
I remember last year at Blue Sky, where I work now, we had a lecture by Ronnie Del Carmen, who works at Pixar. And he brought us a really beautiful presentation. He was showing us, he made a short, he made a film, and that was only storyboarded. So that was just, it was an animatic. And it was about the rain, so it was really poetic, and it was just snaps of what he was imagining, and there was no dialogue at all. It was just the music, and he was pitching it to us. So it would really bring the message, and some people cried. So it can be so intense, even with no dialogue at all, and the music can just really bring out all the feelings and emotions.
Totally, yeah. So you guys should be focusing on making your story the absolute tightest, best, essential story it can be. Use the music to support that. Prioritize the main point above all else, level of polish, everything like that. Alessandra, what would your advice be in regards to exporting? Like if they're making a choice between leaving it a little rougher or being able to polish it, but then maybe giving themselves less time? Full advice.
I mean, I honestly haven't made a film myself since my graduation film, so that was a long time ago. I do remember Crazy Nights. Seeing the sunrises many times. So I totally empathize with that. I don't know. I can be giving like big advices on as an exporting and really going technical, because what I do is just 2D animation and storyboarding. So someone else does that for me, thank God. I mean, just get again, like, get it together, and when you export, it's done. So just keep in mind that you are delivering to us a message. So don't polish.
Good advice. Yeah, I think someone was suggesting that you maybe even if you can export at multiple stages, just so that you have something, even if your last render goes catastrophically wrong, which, that won't happen to anybody, but just be prepared because you have to submit it before the 4 o'clock deadline. If it's 4:01, it's late. So sounds like she's saying the same thing we've all been hearing. Focus on your story, just get it done. You can get to the finish line. Let's see. I see questions on YouTube. So any thoughts on the editing process? What to do with clips that were good ideas but didn't make the cut in time?
Again, I would just say if they didn't make it in time, just think if they are really important, because it could be a good idea, it could be very original, it could be something that definitely adds, as in surprise, as in quality. But is it like really important? Like, is it something that if you take it off, like, takes away informations about what you want to convey? It could be a really good idea. It could be a really amazing shot to watch, but just go for simplicity.
Yeah, maybe it just doesn't belong in this film. You can like give it a second life in your reel or something. It can still be a great example for you, but just maybe it doesn't belong in this project. How do you keep yourself motivated and productive when you are so tired? Question.
Okay, so funnily, what I do, well, sometimes it still happens that I have to pull an all-nighter, but because maybe I'm working on something that's for myself, or sometimes I'm on a tight deadline, and I just want to, make sure that I make it. Um, Coffee for sure, a lot of coffee. No, something that I do is try to distract myself, actually. Do something that wakes me up. So it could be like a very stupid thing, like go to the bathroom and put makeup on. Yeah.
I actually did that before this call. It worked.
Yeah, something that brings you back to your normal life and makes you think about, I don't know, something that doesn't feel like, oh my God, I'm doing this work and I'm tired. Something that, lightens you up. Watch, I don't know, an episode of something that you like. But yeah, do distract yourself, because it could be like, you might feel like you're wasting 20 minutes, but those 20 minutes keep you alive for hours to come. So yeah, get fresh air.
You're not going to be any more productive. You just keep thinking about how tired you are. That's awesome. Great advice. Just do something else for a few minutes and recharge your batteries. Another question from YouTube. Ty Cavan wants to know, how do you decide the subject matter for their films, and do they try to incorporate art styles from the subject matter's history, for example, in the Book of Kells, in Secret, i.e. the Book of Kells in Secret of Kells, sorry.
So
I guess like how much inspiration do you pull from the actual like artifact in the art style for the animation, and how do you decide?
In some studios, like we did at Cartoon Saloon, we do a lot of field trips. So they take us to the actual site, and Cartoon Saloon is really focused on the Irish folklore and their culture. So it's really important for them and for us to really experience that kind of atmosphere, to get that in us. So especially with the visual development phase and the backgrounds, and when we are in pre-production, basically it's common to do this kind of trips in nature and go sketching, and I remember I saw amazing background studies from Adrien Merigeau and Stewart, and yeah, it's really important to get that feeling. And when I watch Secret of Kells, or when I watch Wolf Walkers recently, you could spot places in Ireland, like Little Pub, or Song of the Sea set partly in Dublin, so you could recognize some of the places there. So yeah, it's really important, even if you're just animating and everything has been decided already. It's really good to have that feeling in you, and yeah, put your heart into it.
Absolutely. No, that's just great life advice. Like whatever you're doing, you can get out of your normal routine and go find inspiration somewhere different. You'll be surprised what connections you make later. Like you might even just go on a walk or something if you feel like you really need to take a change of scenery, like right now. Just go get some fresh air. Maybe you'll run into a cool bug or something. I don't know. I do that all the time. Look at something and then let it sink in somewhere later.
Yeah, authentic as well, because when you do something, it has to be believable. So if it comes from you and if it comes from experience, it's more authentic. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, this whole prompt is about your personal experience. Like everyone is going through different versions of the same massive events. So focus on, what you know and you're familiar with and you can translate into your art. Question for Alessandra: how did you get your first start or your first job?
Oh wow. Okay. A long time ago. Yeah, it was about 15 years ago, and I decided to have an internship for the summer, and it was supposed to be 2 weeks at Cartoon Saloon, and I ended up staying for almost 3 years there.
Wow.
Yes, and yeah, it was. It started in Dublin in a studio called Barley Films, and then we moved to Cartoon Saloon because the production of Secret of Kells was starting.
Mhm.
So we helped on that, and yeah, I just really enjoyed the atmosphere of being in a studio, and it was so dynamic, and there was so much talent. Yeah, I just decided to stay.
That's awesome. And it's a smaller studio, right? What's the what's the studio culture like in a smaller team
Yeah,
versus?
so Cartoon Saloon started now, it's huge, and it's basically the reason why many students decide to go to Ireland because of Cartoon Saloon. But when we started, it was a very small, a very, very small studio, not in the place where it's now. It was still in town, but like in a kind of secluded place. And it was messy, and there was like computers everywhere, and it was kind of dark. And then yeah, it just bloomed so much after Secret of Kells and then Song of the Sea. Um, it's what I really like, and I feel like that's one of it's probably my best experience in my career with them, because it feels like it has a family feeling to it, and they're really genuine, lovely people that they put so much heart into whatever they do, and everything is extremely authentic, and it comes from experience, and it comes from loving their culture, and you can tell it's not commercial, or they're not aiming to make money. If it happens, it happens, but it comes from a place of love for what they do. So yeah, it's great, and people who go there just happen to have the same philosophy. So you just end up being surrounded by amazing people, amazing artists. Yeah, it's great.
That's amazing. So just like follow your passion, make connections, plant strange seeds, and see what blossoms. It's all awesome advice. So you guys are taking the first great steps by participating in this competition. You're gonna finish something. I just saw Aubrey's telling me that we just got our first finished film entry. Some crazy people already done. I guess they decided they had their story down and didn't want to over polish it. So congratulations to you guys. I don't know which team it is, and I won't say anything in front of the judge anyway, so she can remain impartial. But Alessandra, thank you so much. It sounds like you're living like the animation dream with all these cool different projects that you get to be a part of. Great advice for everyone. Thank you for being here and for being a judge. I'm excited to see stuff. She's gonna get to.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everything. I'm really eager to see all the films.
Awesome. Well, all right, I'm going to say goodbye to Alessandra, and we are going to check in with our Middle Americas segment. So, goodbye, Alessandra.
Bye. Good luck to everyone.